Tap of any of the empty slots to start a new game in Life Cycling Manager 2021. You can create your own new team with a customized cyclist or choose one of the existing teams. Teams on World category are initially locked. Win your first stage on CC or HC category to unlock Tier 2 teams or a WC stage to unlock Tier 3 teams. Once selected your team, enter your manager's name to start the new game. At the beginning of a new season, you have to select your bike supplier. Each supplier specializes in a type of bike whose performance will be enhanced on a particular type of stage, as we can check in the equipment section. When we access the squad area, we can see the list of riders in our team as well as their contractual situation and the roster for the next season by browsing through the contract and next season tabs. Tapping on a rider will take you to his personal file with the summary and skill tabs showing his stats. In planning, by tapping on Edit, you can manage the cyclist's performance during the season, which is divided into 14 blocks of 5 days, and there are 50 points to distribute to balance his form and tiredness along the season. You can visualize his season objectives or the Grand Tours too. The Assign to Riders option allows you to assign his planning to different riders in the squad. In Calendar, we will access to the season's race schedule, and tapping on each one shows its detail and the option to join it. From the home screen, when clicking on Go to Next Day, you will be warned of the deadline to register for the incoming race. You will be given a daily token reward every time a new day starts. In the staff section, you can hire trainers, mechanics, and physiotherapists who, depending on their attributes, will vary in cost and will improve their team in different ways. In the Finances category, you can check the income and expenses. The values in the right corner of the header show the amount of tokens, current money, and the daily expenses your club has. By tapping on them, there is an option to get more. The main way to cover expenses is by hiring sponsors. There is the option of hiring a main sponsor, a secondary sponsor, and 3 collaborators. Each of these sponsors will offer different conditions and economic contribution. In addition to an initial payment and daily payment, they can offer payments per race, per stage, or tokens. You can also create merchandising such as maillots, helmets, caps, in order to make a profit selling them. On the right side, in the upper panel, you set the price of the product, and in the lower panel, the quantity you want to produce. In equipment, we will be able to check the bikes that the supplier we have selected at the beginning of the season has provided us with. There are 3 types of bike that can be used in the races. You will be able to add an upgrade for each level of the 6 that each bike can reach. Under Transport Fleets, the 2 fleets of the team are managed. The level of each fleet will influence the recovery, fatigue, and the satisfaction of the riders. As you improve a fleet, it will increase its efficiency as well as its daily maintenance costs. In training camp, you can train several cyclists at the same time. In the list of destinations to which you can send those cyclists, you can see the skills that each of them improves. Depending on the number of days the training camp lasts, the cost will increase, and during those days the selected riders will appear as busy and will not be able to participate in the races. The trainer's average influences the increase in skills that the riders will have. Days can be brought forward with tokens or by watching advertisements. In Market, you can search for cyclists with the desired skills. By clicking on a rider, you can browse through the rider's characteristics and add him to your portfolio or offer him a contract. When offering a contract, the conditions are negotiated and you can hire the cyclist for the current season or for the next one. The portfolio will show the cyclists that have been scouted and added to the portfolio. Under Training, you can select cyclists for the main team or the youth team and the type of training you want to carry out. You can skip the countdown with a token or by watching an advertisement. Once the training session is over, you can collect the results of training session. Young cyclists can be scouted by going to Scout. Clicking on Search for New Young Talent will display a list of riders with hidden information. Clicking on the Scout icon will start a countdown which at the end will allow you to see hidden information about the rider. Each rider's information will be unlocked one at a time and in this order: age, specialty, average and potential. The countdown can be skipped with a token or by watching an advertisement. Once a rider is hired, he will join your youth team. Each race can be played by clicking on the next race in the top right hand panel of the home screen, and up to 6 steps will be displayed to start the stage. In the first step, the race information and the stages with the profiles are displayed. In the second step, you have to select between 5 and 8 available riders who will compete in the race. The morale, shape and tiredness values of each rider will modify their skills and the result on their average is shown in the column Estimate. In the third step, we can select the transport fleet and the staff we will send for this race. The coach influences the cyclist race training, the mechanic influences the race performance, and the physiotherapist influences the recovery. In the fourth step, we can select the type of bicycle that best suits this stage. The fifth step is the race strategy. Here, each rider will be assigned a role for the stage and you select who will compete for the special mountain and sprint points. In the other two columns, you select the actions you will take in the stage in case you simulate it, entering breakaways and attacking. These actions will improve the rider's attacking skills during the stage, but will also make him more tired. Finally, you can select a bonus for the stage and you can simulate the race and directly access the result or play it in real time. In the 3D real-time race, the previously selected riders are displayed on the left-hand side. When you click on one of them, it is centered on the screen and the following actions are displayed. Pull. The rider increases his effort in order to boost the pace of the group he is in. Pull and hold. The rider increases the pace of the group to keep time with the first group in the race. Breakaway. The rider tries to break away from the group by attacking at his maximum speed. During breakaway, the rider attempts to join a breakaway following it at his max speed. Drop back or disengage. The rider drops back positioning the group to save stamina. If he's at the back of the group, he drops out of the group. This last action varies depending on the type of cyclist. The domestic aims to help the leader in order to reduce the effort he makes. The pacemaker aims to help the sprinter by reducing his effort and giving him a small bonus to sprinting skills. With the vertical bar, you can limit the maximum effort allowed to the cyclist to avoid fatigue. The groups in the race and the stage profile are shown at the bottom. Tapping on the profile, we can see the sprints done so far. Clicking the top right button displays rider information such as his skill level by slope, morale, shape, tiredness and other skills. If we leave the race without having finished, a simulation of the race will be made without taking into account the actions taken so far, and the result will be displayed.